them in a bygone day. They're the eyes of a man whose lust knows no bounds.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Horny Creek. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is April 5th, 2000.
It is. Stop. I mean, at least you got the year right, but geez.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
2000.
So it's been like, what, a whole month since we've been able to talk about Dawson?
Yeah. We've had to wait all through March, through spring break madness. March Madness.
Because,
everyone.
But like, we left off with Pacey and Joey kissing.
Yeah.
And then they made us wait a fucking month to find out what happened.
And we pick up from there, too.
And get horribly disappointed.
Yeah.
Assholes.
This is like, if they were planning this the whole time, this is like the worst bait and switch ever.
I hate them.
Because it's like, immediately, let's undo everything.
Yep.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either, but I'm angry.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. So like they're kissing and then now Joey just starts punching him and yelling at him. Like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah,
like she was kissing him back.
She was.
So bullshit. You know? I call bullshit.
Yeah. Because she obviously liked it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do, throughout the episode, they do seem to indicate, like, hey, if you hated it so much, or if this was so meaningless, then
you wouldn't be so upset.
Why are you reacting so big to it?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it is someone that's your friend. Like if we weren't together and you had somebody that was like a friend of yours and they like kissed you or whatever, wouldn't it be upsetting to you? Even if you, like, let's say you had no feelings for them. How would you react to it?
Trying to imagine a situation where that would happen.
I guess you wouldn't punch them and stuff like that. I mean, they are right. You wouldn't be like, you'd be like, oh, no, thank you.
I mean, it's hard to imagine, like, having a friend that's a really good friend.
That you don't want to fuck?
I mean, if I were single... Because I'm really more into, like, who a person is.
Yeah.
Than anything. And so, like, if they're a good friend to me, then I'm going to be into them because I like who they are.
Interesting.
So.
I'll keep that in mind when we talk about all your good friends.
Shut up. It's not the same. I'm talking about if I were single. If I was a single, horny teenager.
Oh, okay.
You know? Like, I'm just saying, I don't think the situation would go like that for me.
Right.
How about you?
I mean, no, I see where they're coming from. I've had women that are just friends. So.
Well, I've had guys that are just friends too, but if one of them kissed me, not saying that nothing would happen.
Oh, there are definitely women that I've been just friends with that if they kissed me, nothing would happen.
Because you weren't attracted to them.
Yeah.
And that's a very important thing for you.
Physical attraction, yeah. It's a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, like for me, I think that can come.
Well, so. I agree with that too. I think that I think you tend to, as you get to know a person more, you tend to focus on the parts of them that are attractive to you, the parts that you find pleasing, and your brain almost like just doesn't even see any of the other parts.
Yeah, or
enhances things that you thought maybe weren't attractive to the point where they are attractive to you, like neurochemically. I don't know if there's any neuroscience like actually behind it or whatever, but I fully believe that, and vice versa. If someone is like not a good person to you and you don't like their personality, I think you focus on the negative features of them,
and they become less attractive.
And I think everybody has attractive features and not attractive features, pretty much. I mean, maybe there's like the odd, like less than 1% of people out there that are like supermodels or whatever, where they have like no unattractive features, and there's the the corollary, the less than 1% that's just completely ugly. Maybe, I don't know, but it seems to me most normal people have things that are attractive about them and things that are not attractive about them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That makes sense. But yeah, Joey is very upset that Pacey kissed her, and then he's like, "Oh, I just did this impulsive thing."
Right. Not something I've been thinking about or talking about with Jonathan Lipnicki for the last, 3 episodes.
Which, I'm disappointed in him for backing down.
Yes.
I get why he did it, but...
Yeah, he should have just been like, I feel this way about you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, Josephine Potter?
I think if he'd stood his ground, eventually she would come around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he just backed it all the way up.
Her biggest thing is, you could fucking hear that the next time over.
Dawson.
Her big thing is she's like, well, what about the Dawson of it all?
Which, you're not together anymore. I mean, I understand that this will complicate their friendships with him or whatever.
She thinks it'll completely kill it, which I don't.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, he really strongly cares about both of them. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that he's going to let that go. Him and Joey have been broken up for a while now. And they're all friends. Mm-hmm. So I don't see why he would not be okay. He might be a little jealous at times or whatever, but...
Can I point out that he and Michelle Williams, what's her, Jen?
Yeah.
He and Jen dated for quite a while at the beginning of the fucking show. And her and... Why can't I think of anyone's name? Pacey. Her and Pacey, Jen and Pacey had a, let's fuck relationship or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't actually fuck, but,
They explored that.
And everyone knew, they knew that was going on. They caught them, making out or whatever. And Dawson's response was to laugh about it.
But you know what? I think this show treats Dawson and Joey's, relationship as this almost holy biblical, thing that can't be, messed with. And that's bull.
True. No, I agree. That's true. The show treats it that way, but I don't know why she treats it that way. And if her and Dawson both feel that way, then why aren't they together?
Right.
At one point, he says she's my soulmate.
Yeah.
Then why she threw herself at you earlier in this season, wanting to get you back or whatever, and you said no. Then why aren't you together if she's your soulmate?
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. Unless he means in a purely friend manner, she's my soulmate. We're always going to be friends and stuff like that or whatever. But he doesn't feel romantically about her anymore.
I can't imagine that because I mean they were pretty hot and heavy, almost fucked. So I don't know how.
And they keep going back and forth with them.
Yeah,
where it's one episode he's pining for her, and the next episode she's pining for him, and then they're moving on to somebody else.
It's annoying. The whole thing's annoying.
It is.
I was yelling at the TV a lot during this episode.
And that's the thing is that's what confuses me about that. Generally, I like this show, and I think the show is generally well written. So this criticism isn't to mean the show's terrible or whatever. But one thing that annoys me about the show is character motivations seem to change so rapidly. I don't know if that's supposed to be a teenager thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But that it happens a lot where it's what is Dawson's motivation when it comes to Joey? At one point he's really into her or whatever. She breaks up with him, and then this season, the beginning of this season, his motivation was, I'm moving past Joey. I want to move past Joey. Mm-hmm. Her motivation was, I want Dawson back. I made this big mistake or whatever. And then they keep shifting motivations. Mm-hmm. He'll want her, and then it's but what? Why? And then he's talking about, I want to discover the me from the past or whatever, from the Dawson from season 1 that believed in magic or whatever. And it's it's so weird too to hear. I mean, I know James Van Der Beek's 23 or whatever, so it's a little more believable. But it pulled me out of it a little bit when he and Pacey are at their fort. We'll get to it. The little thing that they're doing in the episode, and he's I'm just looking back on my life and thinking about you're supposed to be 16. What do you mean you're looking back on your life 3 years ago? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so weird to hear someone that's supposed to be 16 talk about, oh, when I was young.
Teenagers do that sometimes, though.
They do, but it's just weird.
They have a very limited perspective, but you know, it's there.
It seems like it comes from an older place.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, so what's going on there? Can we skip to that, or
do you want to? I mean, what do you want to? Do you want to keep going with Pacey and Joey, or what do you want to do?
Because that's like the whole episode. Like, it begins with them and ends with them, but the whole middle they're not together, and there's all this other shit that happens to motivate the end. So,
well, yeah, and the whole middle they're talking to other people,
yeah,
about things.
So,
yeah, I mean, I guess we can go there. Like, what happens is this is all like coincidence theater, but what happens is that Pacey talks to his brother, Officer Doug or whatever, Deputy Doug, that's what he calls him. And Doug gives him actually really good advice.
He compares it to what happened to Speed.
Yeah, in the movie Speed, yeah. Yeah, because he's like, oh, you're a cop, and Dawson's a bomb, and Joey's the bus.
And you have to defuse the bomb.
And you're Keanu Reeves. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan Lipnicki is the guy that, like, pulls a gun on Keanu Reeves. And he's like, I don't know you, dude. I'm not here for you. I don't know why Joey had to be the bus, why Joey couldn't be Sandra Bullock. But,
because
who's Sandra Bullock in this situation?
Nobody. There is no Sandra Bullock in this situation because
who's driving the bus?
The bus is like
the bus is driving itself.
The bomb is strapped to the bus, right? The bus is carrying the weight of this bomb that's going to explode it. And I feel like it's a really good metaphor for Dawson and Joey's relationship. So,
but he's like, you've got to dismantle the bomb. That's how you have to do it. He's like, so you need to talk to Dawson. He's like, go someplace where it's. This is the coincidence theater part. He's like, go someplace that means a lot to you, that talks about your friendship and everything and stuff, and tell him there, because you know he'll take it easier there. And then Pacey goes to school, and Dawson's reading a newspaper.
Yeah, that was bizarre as fuck too. Like old man behavior. Mm-hmm. Teenage boys don't sit in the cafeteria at lunch reading the newspaper.
No, they don't.
They look like old men.
They do.
The way they behave, and the way they speak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It takes me out of it sometimes.
Yeah.
But so he's like, hey, look, they're going to fucking tear down the woods. And that's where our fort is. The fort that we built when we were kids.
9.
Yeah. So he's like, we should, let me tell you something. This is exactly what I've been looking for the last 5 seconds. We should go and stay the night there and bond so I can talk to you about how I want to fuck Joey.
So then Pacey is hanging out with the little boy that he's mentoring.
Jonathan Lipnicki.
What the what were they doing?
Buzz.
I guess he was just dropping off. Like we didn't.
He was dropping
see them
off.
together.
Yeah. He was carrying him over his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. Because he was just dropping him off at the house, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my friends are coming over," and he's like, "Well, you should come over tomorrow." And he's like, I'm not coming over tomorrow. I'm going camping with my buddy.
Yeah, and so then he's like, but I want to go camping with you. Take me with you. He's like needy little fuck.
I know, seriously.
And he's like, nah, dude, we'll go camping another time. And that's where it should have been left. Mm-hmm. But Pacey and Dawson get all their shit together and go out into the woods to this fort that looks like it was built by not 9-year-olds. I mean, not carpenter level, but like they had to use some power tools. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't look super professional, but it's like, yeah, this is pretty good work for 9-year-olds.
Tell me that your parents at least helped. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. John Wesley Shipp had to have been there, I think.
I think so. But yeah, so they have this little, and then they're talking. Dawson's like, this used to be bigger than life, and now it's so small. Because like it's so funny. Pacey stands up in it, and there's a hole in the roof, and his head's just poking out of the roof.
Well, it's because you guys used to be smaller.
Yeah, it happens. Like it's perspective change.
Exactly.
But then Jonathan Lipnicki brings his buddies, and they find them in the woods. How? He gave him no information.
Right. He just said he was going camping. They could have been going camping in fucking Ohio.
Right. And he's like, we found them. I knew they'd be here. Like, what?
Yeah. It was weird.
That was ridiculous. No, it was more than weird. It was ridiculous. I think this is poor writing.
Yeah.
Like, either he should have given them more clues as to where he was going to be, or they shouldn't have brought them.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he left a trail of breadcrumbs.
Maybe.
Through the woods. Oh, my God. Or like a trail of M&Ms.
And this is right when he's about to talk to Dawson about Joey.
Yeah.
The kids come. And so then everything gets put on the back burner because instead of making them go home, which I would totally have done, they let them stay. They call their parents.
Yeah, apparently Pacey went to a payphone or something and called their parents.
Yeah, I don't think they're 90210 rich. I don't think they walk around with cell phones. I don't know. I mean,
they're not Zach Morris.
But maybe they do have cell phones.
I don't think they would. I don't know. I've never seen them brandish cellular telephones.
I don't know. It's weird. But
like you said, you see it sometimes on 90210 because they're rich, and Zach Morris had one, but
it was the size of his head.
But I think that's just because Zach Morris exists in a dream world.
Yeah,
where he's having a dream while he's in Indiana in Miss Bliss's class, and he's dreaming about what his life would be like in California and how he'd be cool and everything.
Mm-hmm. Your weird Saved by the Bell theory.
And that's what Saved by the Bell is.
Okay.
Good Morning Miss Bliss takes place in Indiana, and then all of a sudden they're in California, and he's got new, cooler friends.
California.
And better hair.
Is a better location.
And he can freeze time. Explain that. Explain that one. If it's not a dream in his head, how can he just call time? He just has the ability to call time out. He affects... It's not even just a narrative device where he talks directly to the camera. Like, he affects things.
Yeah. It's like that show where the girl's like half alien. She can stop freeze time, too.
Yeah, Out of This World.
Yeah. But...
Would you like to swing on a star?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Evie.
So, that's her name?
That was her name, Evie, yeah.
So, Pacey tells the kids they can stay, gets permission from the parents, and now this is no longer about him and Dawson bonding, but about him being a babysitter to 3 children.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And they're like, Dawson, tell us a story. Well, this is the story about a rich man that wants to create a new kind of amusement park, a Jurassic kind of park. And like, yeah, we've seen Jurassic Park, dude. And he's like, all right, well, how about something about a extremely awesome terrestrial? We'll call it EAT. And they're like, we know E.T.
He's like, how about a great white shark? And they're like, no.
Does he know any movies that aren't Steven Spielberg movies?
Does he know anything that's not a movie?
It's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah. And eventually, though, he does come up with a story.
Yeah, his own original story about, I don't know.
A dude who lived in the fort and was going to come kill them.
Yeah. Charlie Fort. I'm surprised he wasn't like, this fort was built in an Indian burial ground.
Yeah. But so at a certain point, the kids are asleep, and Pacey and Dawson are alone together. Mm. And that would have been a good time to have the conversation. But instead...
They make out?
No. That would be really weird. But instead, though, they have a different conversation. Uh-huh. Because Pacey asks Dawson, like, how he feels about Joey. Some bullshit. How does this happen? Where Dawson is now talking about his feelings about Joey instead of Pacey talking about his feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Pacey really facilitates this conversation.
It's annoying. And so Dawson's like, oh, yeah, she's like my soulmate. Mm-hmm. And so then Pacey just drops it.
And he's like, and like you're my best friend and everything. And like, you're all loyalty. Hey, at one point he's like, you're all about loyalty, and you'd never invite me here under false pretenses to have a conversation.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like you read
part.
the script.
And Pacey's like, if I'm loyal to you, it's because you cast me in that role, Dawson, in this movie in your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is true. Yeah, so Pacey chickens the fuck out, basically.
Yeah, he's if they were Star Wars, Pacey would be Han Solo, which is not loyalty necessarily.
No.
And Dawson would be
Luke
Skywalker.
Yep.
And Joey would be Princess Leia.
Which would be really convenient because then she'd be related to Dawson, and it wouldn't matter anymore that she couldn't be with him. That's what they should
They could still
do.
kiss. Reveal that they're actually related.
Yeah, and then she has to be with Pacey.
Your whore of a mom fucked my dad, it turns out. My drug-addicted dad.
Oh my god. So
That's why you're not cool or handsome or athletic like your dad. TV's The Flash.
there you go. So then in the morning,
There was that one episode where Joey's dad was like rebuilding the thing and stuff like that, and she noticed weird similarities between him and Dawson. Remember that?
no,
Yeah, there was something happened.
I'm sure something happened. Thank you for that insight.
You're welcome.
Actually, before we talk about the morning, though, we should talk about the girls. So,
Yeah, the ladies.
so Henry and Jen
Well, yeah, Henry and Jen.
are having some issues.
Yeah, because
It's his birthday.
she's like, when were you going to tell me that tomorrow's your birthday? And he's like, oh, you found out about that?
No. She knew it was his birthday. She comes up to him and she's like, Henry, for your birthday tomorrow, I'm going to take you out to dinner and to a movie, and I got you a present, and because she'd already bought the present.
Yeah, but she says to him, when were you going to tell me your secret or whatever? He's like, what do you mean? That your birthday's tomorrow? And he's like, oh, you found out. And she's like, yeah, and I've got the best present for you.
Oh.
She does say that. Like
How did she find out that?
I don't know. They never reveal how she found out.
Weird.
But she does say that like he was keeping it from her or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, I would love to go to the movies with you and stuff, but I can't tomorrow because I have plans. And she's like, you have plans for your birthday? And I'm not invited. And he's like, well, it's just a family thing. It's just for family. And she's like, oh, okay, I get it,
And
It all seems reasonable.
It does, and it seems reasonable that she would think that he could just go out on a date with her for his birthday at the last minute, because she has no family who would throw her a party.
Exactly.
But he does. So whatever. But then one of the fucking football players walks by. He's like, hey, see you at your party tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many issues with this.
Okay.
But we'll get there. I'm not to the issue place yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So Jen,
It's going to take you a minute to get there, huh? I got to warm you up for the complaint place or whatever. The issue place.
well, it's just, okay, it's because of the party. Like, why would he invite the fucking football team to this fucking weird party?
I agree with that. Like, yeah. But anyway, we'll go ahead. We'll get there.
Yeah. Oh no.
Jen's pissed.
Yeah, so Jen's very upset, which who could blame her?
Yeah, she's like, well, you fucking lied to me and everything, and you're excluding me from this party. So, weirdly, I don't think this has ever really happened before, and this happens only for convenience. The old men are reading a newspaper over at the other table. I'm talking about, you look confused. I'm talking about Dawson and Pacey.
Yeah.
In the cafeteria. Yeah, whoa,
Whoa, what is happening?
Rewound back to that. And then the girls are at a completely separate table, all talking to each other.
Yeah.
And Andy is like, you know what? We fucking need a girls' night.
Yeah,
Like, Joey's upset because Pacey kissed her.
but nobody knows that.
Well,
She's just
Joey's
upset.
upset about something. We can tell Joey's upset. And Jen's upset because her and Henry are on the rocks or whatever because of this thing. So we all need a girls' night. So they all agree to do girls' night.
Yeah, so they're going over to Andy's house. Also at Andy's house.
Well, are they going to Andy's house?
Yes, it's at Andy's house. Oh no, isn't it? I thought it was.
I thought just Jack was at Andy's house.
Oh, where whose house were they at?
I don't know.
I think
Jen's?
I think they're at Andy's house for the sleepover for the weekend. But they were out, so they weren't around.
I think it's Jen's house because who brings out the Victoria's Secret bags? Jen, right?
I don't know.
I think Jen does, so I think it's her house because she takes them from underneath the bed.
All right. Anyway. Okay. Now I'm so derailed. I don't even know where to go next.
They're at Jen's house.
Okay, so I guess we're continuing with this.
We can go wherever you want to go. I was just trying to help you.
So the ladies are talking about, what are we going to do? They do facials and pedicures and did they eat cookie dough or some shit? I don't know. But They decide
Every cliche they did. They had a pillow fight.
Yeah, they decide they're gonna go.
They experimented with each other sexually.
Oh my god, they did that. They decide they're gonna go to the roller rink, and then Jen pulls out bags from under the bed, like Mark said.
Victoria's said, I didn't recognize them, but you recognize them as Victoria's Secret bags.
That contained boas and, I don't know, weird, not sexy, but just weird little outfits for them to wear.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was definitely Victoria's Secret bags, but I don't think those clothes came from Victoria's Secret, just saying.
No, the wardrobe department probably didn't go to Victoria's Secret, but yeah. I think that was supposed to be the implication, though. It would have made more sense if they were dressed in like sexy push-up bra Victoria's Secret type stuff, because it would be a contrast to what's going on at Henry's party.
Yeah.
They're all adult and stuff like that and everything, and he's a kid. Like, that would have been a really nice, like a funny contrast. They could have done something with that, but I guess they didn't want to doll him up too much. I don't know. Well,
like, the boas reminds me of glamour shots. Not Victoria's Secret, but
yeah, I can see that.
Anyways, while they're there
at the roller rink,
she sees Henry having a birthday party at the fucking roller rink,
blindfolded and hitting his piñata,
and all the football player dudes are standing around going, "Henry, Henry." Now, if you're going to invite the entire fucking football team to your party, why not invite your fucking girlfriend, you piece of shit?
I mean, I agree. I don't know if I call him a piece of shit, but I agree. Now, he says, because she's like, oh, Henry, hi. Like,
yeah, she rolls up there, and she's like, Henry, like, he takes his blindfold off. She interrupts the game. Like, I would not have burst into this party that he very much didn't invite me to. I would have walked out of the roller rink. I would not have even let him know I was there.
I know this would be the end of the relationship if I did this to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're so mad.
But I wouldn't go up to him at his party. I'd leave. Wouldn't you? If you weren't invited?
Yeah.
Like, very specifically?
Oh, 100%.
But she just barges right in.
Yep.
And then they go off skating together in the middle of his party.
And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like, I'm not trying to crash your party. It's total coincidence that we're here and your mom insisted I stay and all this stuff and everything. And then now this is understandable. He says, I didn't want to tell you about the party because I told my mom this is the last year I'm letting her do this. It's obviously something that means something to the mom. For him to have his birthday party at a roller rink with a piñata and pizza. And he's like, like you already think like I'm too young, and because I forgot he's younger than her.
Yeah,
he's like, you already think I'm too young and I'm immature or whatever and stuff like that, and like I just didn't want you to see this party because like it just reinforces, because it is very much a kid party.
Yeah,
because it just reinforces like me being younger than you or whatever. And she says that like, well, it's your innocence that is one of your best qualities, and it's helping me rediscover that part of myself, like. And you don't need to hide that shit from me, is what she's saying. Like, just be yourself. Don't try to be whatever. And so, absent the football team, if it was really just his family and maybe, like, one or two friends that, like, don't even go to the school, like, friends from childhood or something like that, like, people have known him since he was, like, 5 or something like that, then I would get it. But, yeah, he invites the whole fucking football team. And it's like... You're not embarrassed for them to see you, like, at a kid party? Like, I get that it's, like, specifically was an issue between the two of them before they got together. But, like, I don't know. Like, I agree with you. It's a bridge too far for me, I think.
And if he wanted to keep it secret from Jen, inviting a bunch of people from school is dumb.
Yeah, 100%.
But they make up anyway, whatever. She forgives him for lying to her. I don't know that I would have given him the chance to explain.
Yeah. I really do think, because like, I think of the scene now, I didn't think about this at the time, but I think of the scene now where they're, and maybe this is what they were trying to do with the boas, like, let's sexy him up. We'll put him in boas. Like, did a 70-year-old
right.
like that remembers the fucking Lawrence Welk show or something like that just come up with this idea? But like, I think maybe that's what they're trying to do. But it would have been, the visual contrast would have been funnier and more apropos, I think, if they were in lingerie.
Yeah. You know, I wore lingerie to a bowling alley once.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Halloween.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It was on Halloween.
Yeah.
I was 14.
That's when you can, that's when you can get away with it, I guess.
Yeah.
How did that work out for you?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with some of my friends, and I was wearing a pirate costume. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, no, honey, that's not sexy enough. And they got me all dressed up in lingerie and did my makeup and shit.
That's funny.
Yeah. And so we the three of us went as whores. Great costumes.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
But, yeah. So, they make up and everything. Now, while they're at Andy's house or Jen's house or wherever they're at, it comes out that this is one of the conversations that's had. It comes out, Joey's like, Pacey kissed me. And she talks to Jen.
Yeah, she doesn't talk to Andy about it. That's also his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Andy at one point does comment about the tension between... No, she doesn't. She commented about that before, but she just talks about... They're talking about the looks that the guys can give them that melt them, and she's talking about Pacey's look.
Yes.
And like how he'd look at me right before he kisses me, and it's like the same thing that like Joey said to somebody.
Yeah, because Joey was like, that's the look that he gave her, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so she talks to Jen about it, and Jen's like, interesting. Like, she's like, yeah, he said it was impulsive or whatever, it just came out of the blue, and she's like, if it came out of the blue, how come I'm not surprised?
Right? She's like, I knew that, well, her first reaction was, I knew this would come to a head eventually, and she's like, it didn't come to a head, nothing came to a head, what are you talking,
right.
Like, she's so in denial. Yeah. But it's like, you guys have been spending all this time together, getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
You're teenagers. You're attractive. Come on.
But so they talk about it and everything, and then Jen's one of the ones that's like, hey, if it didn't mean anything, then why are you so upset about it? That doesn't make any sense. And she's right, it doesn't. Yeah.
So then in the morning, Joey and Pacey and the little boy run into each other at the store, and the way Joey looks at him is she's happy to see him. Yeah. And I feel like she is like open to him, and she was going to tell him that. And he says, oh, about the other night, just forget it. Just forget all of it. Like, we're better off as friends or whatever.
Because he couldn't muster the courage or find the time or whatever to talk to Dawson about it, because he wants to clear it with Dawson. For whatever reason.
And you can see her heart breaking. He's an idiot. Yeah. She just plasters on his mouth. She's like, oh, yeah, of course. Everything's fine. We're fine. We're friends. We're just friends.
Yeah, they're not on the same page. That's the problem.
It's very, very frustrating.
But there is one more storyline.
Oh, yeah. Jack and
Ethan, I believe his name is. Jack's
all excited. Because Ethan's coming to stay the night or the weekend, I think, with him.
The weekend, yeah.
And his sister informs him that while his father was supposed to be out of town for the weekend, he canceled his trip and he's staying home. Yeah. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not going to let Dad ruin this for me. Like, what the fuck? He is the worst. I hate him in this episode. Like, he makes me so mad. He has the worst attitude.
Now, I get it because to a degree, because like his dad's been a big asshole to him, but his dad is trying. And the thing is like when his dad tries, he doesn't encourage his dad at all. Like,
but he gets mad that he doesn't try.
He like completely discourages him.
Yeah,
he's like, get the fuck away from us. Like Ethan and him are playing chess.
Well, back it up though. Before we get there. His dad says to him, no. Oh, yeah. His dad pulls up and sees Ethan at the door, and he's like, what is going on here? And he's pissed. Yeah. Which I get because he's got a stranger at his house without his permission.
And he's like, well, if you'd asked me permission, you would have saved yourself the embarrassment of having to tell him to leave.
Because this isn't a good weekend for guests.
Right. And he's like... I was curious immediately, why isn't this a good weekend for guests?
But Jack doesn't bother to ask. No. He's just like, oh, you mean for the kind of guests I would have, right? Like, he assumes it's because he's gay and Ethan's a boy.
And Jack's just like, well, you know what? Fuck you. He's staying. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
That's not your house.
He just absolutely refuses to send him home. Like, I don't understand how... The fact that his dad let him live...
Yeah.
after that, like, shows how much he's trying. The fact that his dad didn't embarrass him or anything, like, I can't believe it.
It's insane.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. So they're playing chess.
They're playing chess, and the dad comes up. He's like, "Hey, do you mind if I, watch you guys or whatever?" And Jack's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Basically, like he's like, "Yeah, we do mind." Like,
and
go
he's
away.
like, okay. So he goes to leave, and he says to Ethan, he's like, "Can you believe him trying to fucking watch us like that?" And like Ethan's clearly doesn't have this resentment to his parents that Jack has for his dad, and he's like, yeah, well, I get it, like they can be judgmental and stuff. Like,
and then when they're going out to dinner, Ethan invites the dad to join them.
Yeah. And
Jack is pissed.
Oh yeah.
And the dad's like, "Oh my gosh, really? Thank you!" Like he's so excited, and that's when like I'm like, "Huh." Okay. I mean, like, even when he was, like, nice and like, "Hey, can I join you?" I was like, something's weird.
Yeah.
But when he was so excited to go out with them, I was like, oh, he's not upset that Jack's hanging out with Ethan. That is not the issue.
Yeah.
So.
And then during the conversation, Jack's getting more and more pissed because Ethan and his dad are finding, like, common areas of interest, like talking about cars and stuff like that. And he's like, "Jack, do you remember this car?" And he's like, "No. Fucking, I don't remember any cars."
Yeah, he's
What's a car?
So mean to him.
I ride a horse.
And then, like, the dad's like, "Oh, there's this great classic car museum right by here. Let's go check it out. They're open late on Saturdays." And Ethan's like, "Sure, let's do it." And Jack's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Jack's like, "Why don't you fuck off?"
Right.
Actually,
I don't understand, though. Like, Ethan really was pushing it here. Like, he can tell Jack's upset.
Yeah, I don't know why Ethan doesn't, like, say something to Jack. Why Ethan doesn't, like, pull Jack aside and be like, "Hey, like, he's trying. Like, we should give him a chance. Like, he just wants to be friends or whatever."
Or even at least ask Jack, "Is it okay?
Yeah.
Can we include your dad?"
Yeah.
I don't know. But Ethan just pushes things by inviting his dad and then agreeing to go to the thing. And then when they're at the museum, Jack is so rude to his dad that finally him and Ethan go off to talk about it.
Yeah.
But he's like hollering about how much he hates his dad. And so his dad hears him. He's like, "I'm going to leave."
Yeah, because he's like, can you believe, like, he's fucking ruining everything or whatever? And, like, this Ethan guy, by the way, has said he wants to be friends with Jack. He doesn't want to have sex with Jack.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. This seems like a very big reaction to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jack 100% thought he was going to get laid. He needs to let go of that.
Yeah. But, so yeah, like you said, the dad hears, gets upset, and leaves and everything. And then they have a talk, finally, Jack and his dad.
Well, Ethan and Jack talk first.
Yeah.
Ethan tells him, like, "You've been being a dick to your dad," and all that stuff.
Yeah. He's like, "Look, I wish that my dad was, like, wanted to be as interested as your dad or whatever."
So then Jack goes to talk to his dad.
And the dad basically says, like, because, he's trying, like, he's had bad ideas and attitudes and stuff like that in the past, but he is trying to understand and get better. And he's like, since you've been back or whatever, like, we haven't really talked, we haven't bonded, we haven't, like, done anything. And one of my colleagues at work or whatever was talking about his son, how he just got arrested again or whatever for, like, he has drug problems and, like, all this other stuff. He stole a car or something like that. And he's like, "I thought to myself, Jack is a good kid. Like, I have a good kid and I don't even know him." He's like, "So I was supposed to go out of town on business, but I canceled my business trip because I wanted to spend time with you." And so, like, it hurt him that he had somebody else to spend time with. And, so he's like, he goes, "I don't know, like, one of us had to make the first move," basically is what the dad says. And Jack's like, "I just didn't think it would be you." So it seems like they're on the way to mending some fences.
Which is great. I'm very happy for them because his dad has a history of being a gigantic asshole. But, if he's removing his head from his ass,
right,
more power to him.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too. I think we all need to, not to get political folks or anything, but gay people are human beings. That's what we think.
That's a hot, fresh take.
But what I'm saying is if we want progress towards equality for homosexuals, then I think you have to give people the time and the patience and the resources to want to change.
Yeah.
You can't just like someone like Jack's dad as portrayed at the beginning, where he's like, no son of mine's gay, like fucking gays, like all angry about it and stuff like that, right? We have to give people like that time. You can't just go and shout at them like, you're wrong, you're an asshole, like that doesn't change anybody's mind. Actually, it just strengthens their resolve. Mm-hmm. Like coming so hot and fast at somebody puts them on the defensive and really psychologically just strengthens their preconceived notions, right or wrong. So you have to give people the space to learn and question and expand their ideas about things. Yeah. And it's a slow process. It's not something that happens overnight, unfortunately. But that's how things change. So, like that, giving him some grace, I think, is a good thing.
Agreed.
But yeah, that is the episode. Pretty frustrating episode, all told. Jack frustrated the fuck out of me until the end when he finally, whatever. And the whole Joey and Pacey situation is fucking frustrating.
Yeah, and even like Henry,
and the cock blocking kids.
Right?
I mean, I guess they weren't cock blocking necessarily. But,
yeah, they weren't going to be using their cocks.
So they male bonding blocking kids, heart to heart blocking kids.
Right. That was frustrating.
Confessing that I love your ex-girlfriend kids, blocking kids.
Right.
Was, frustrating too. So many things frustrating about this episode.
So very many.
But hopefully we get some... I have a feeling that we're just going to do a 180 next episode. That it's just going to be like they'll get together in the next episode.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because they do that a lot of times where they're like... the storyline goes like... It seems to be going in this direction and all of a sudden they're like, wait, nope.
Yeah. I'm curious to see.
But yeah, we will see next week. But that is our episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can find their own cock blockers.
You can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com. Mm-hmm. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
Oh, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.